If you've ever wondered how to get great saxophone recordings without a full studio, or why you should even bother recording yourself at all, this video is for you. Today I will show you how to start recording yourself without too much gear or spending a fortune, and how this can totally change the way you practice. We will also test the new Cloudvocal SonoFlex microphone that makes it super easy to get great sounding saxophone recordings. So let's talk about why recording yourself can be such a game changer. Imagine that I ask you to play a song for me, and after the song I would like you to tell me how your articulation was, where your intonation was great or not so great, how the timing worked out, how your phrasing was, etc. You could probably recall a few things, right? But it's almost impossible to play and evaluate yourself in detail at the same time. That's totally normal, and actually judging ourselves constantly while we play is not a habit we want to develop. It keeps us from letting go and expressing ourselves freely. That's why recording yourself is such a powerful tool. You can listen afterwards, notice what you liked, what didn't quite work, and improve these specific things. And this is not only a practice method for beginners or intermediate players, even pros do this all the time. In fact, when I play gigs with other professional musicians, many of them record themselves, sometimes of course for social media, but often also for just listening back and checking how it went. And it really doesn't matter what kind of music you're playing, classical, jazz or pop. Everyone can benefit from this. Before we talk about a few ways that you could use your own recordings to get better, let's take a look at how to actually start recording yourself. So recently the Taiwanese company Cloudvocal sent me their SonoFlex instrument microphone to try out. And this is a clip-on microphone that you simply attach to the bell of your saxophone. Often these clip-on microphones are used for live performances, but you can just as easily also use it at home. Microphones like this you cannot directly connect to your computer to record. I have an audio interface with an XLR input, and it's important that the interface supports phantom power, otherwise this specific microphone is not gonna work. So the setup is the microphone goes via XLR into the audio interface, the audio interface connects with the laptop via USB, and then I use GarageBand, which is a free program that comes with every Mac to record. If you're on Windows, you can use Audacity, which is also great and free. So this just takes a few minutes and is all pretty simple to set up. Let's see how this setup sounds. And I thought it's good to compare the SonoFlex microphone with a simple iPhone recording to see how much more clarity and detail the proper microphone gives you. Even with just your phone, you can already learn a lot from listening back. You can still analyze your articulation, phrasing, your rhythm, etc. But I personally just really don't enjoy listening to phone recordings because usually this sounds quite boxy and doesn't really sound how I sound naturally. With the SonoFlex, I actually enjoy listening back to my recordings. It gives you a much clearer, more natural impression of your articulation, dynamics, intonation, etc. And you're not distracted all the time wondering if it's just the phone microphone that makes you sound weird. To get a little bit more of a realistic impression how you would sound with a band, you can also use the SonoFlex to record yourself together with a backing track. Let me show you how this sounds. Now that we've had a look at how to record yourself, let's talk about how to actually use these recordings to get better. One great approach is to listen to specific aspects of your playing. For example, you've recorded a song you currently practice. You could ask yourself, how's my intonation? Is it spot on, or is it a little bit too flat or too sharp? If you've recorded with a metronome, a backing track or a real band, you could ask yourself, am I rushing at any point, or am I slowing down? And last but not least, you should of course always pay attention to your sound. Which notes sound great, which notes maybe sound a little bit thin. So really try to be specific about this and then pick one thing that you want to improve and work on it in your next practice session. And when you're working on improvisation, recording yourself is really essential. It helps you understand how your ideas and your soloing sounds to others. You could ask yourself when listening back to your recording, would you be interested if you were the listener in the audience? Where did the lines work out great? And which lines maybe didn't fit the changes perfectly? Am I leaving enough space between ideas, or am I playing the whole time? You can even, when you're listening back to yourself, take one phrase that you're not happy with and write down a better version and practice this. If you do that on a regular basis, you will really improve fast. And you will never be again surprised when you hear yourself on a recording and think, wait, this is how I actually sound like? So I hope this video motivates you to start recording yourself. It's really one of the best tools we have to grow as musicians. If you're curious about the SonoFlex microphone, it costs at the moment $330, and I will leave you a link in the comments. I'm not a microphone expert, but honestly I was really impressed how it sounds. I even prefer it in a way to what I sometimes get in a professional recording studio. The only thing you should be aware of is that with clip-on microphones you will always hear a little bit of key noise. With the SonoFlex I could hear it a little bit, but it never really bothered me. And once you play with a band, it anyway completely disappears. One more thing about recording yourself, it's very easy to get discouraged when you listen back to yourself. I've been there many times myself. So try not to only focus on the things that you want to improve or that you don't like about your playing. Try also to find out what you actually like and what works great already. In the end, we will never have a perfectly objective impression of our own sound. But if we manage to listen back to our own recordings with curiosity rather than judgment, it's really one of the best tools to grow as a musician. Thanks so much for watching, and if you're now recording your next jazz solo and you're wondering how to improve, make sure to check out this video next where I share 3 simple tips to improve your jazz soloing. See you next time.